the thesis that I want to develop is that the time has come now for Southeast Asia and Indonesia within it to be net contributor to the wider region's peace and security. There was a time when Southeast Asia essentially seeks guarantees from the rest of Asia, from Asia Pacific, the plus three, United States, from China, India, etc., to please keep us, guarantee and ensure our security. This is what's meant when we seek the endorsement by the non-ASEAN countries of the TAC, the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia. So we are saying to the world, we want to be at peace. Please don't bother us. Please respect our wish to be peaceful with one another. But I think over the past, since 67 onwards, ASEAN Community 2015, we have now sufficient portfolio of state practice to be able to begin to project those experiences elsewhere. For example, initially, Southeast Asia was a region very much divided, not only tensions and suspicions, but actually open conflict. But over the years, we have developed the ASEAN community, where essentially now, even though we may not have a more advanced institutional setup as Europe, for example, but at least in Southeast Asia now, increasingly, the notion of open conflict among the Southeast Asian countries are becoming less and less obvious and being set to the side. We have had many examples where conflict situations in our region have been managed in a very peaceful way and in a problem-solving way. It is in this connection that since 2011, again, amongst others, thanks to the conversation that I've had here at the Asia Society, Indonesia has been promoting the notion of projecting or replicating the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation, which is hitherto only applying in Southeast Asia, to be applying in the wider region. Non-use of force, peaceful settlement of disputes, legally binding, no longer among Southeast Asian countries, but among the outer dots, among your China, India, among your Japan, Korea, Japan, China, US, China. So externalizing the same type of state practice that has been applicable within ASEAN. We have enough as a starting point in 2011 when Indonesia chaired the East Asia Summit. The leaders of the East Asia Summit agreed to what's called the Bali Principles, made up of 12 points, 2 of which are peaceful settlement of disputes and non-use of force. But as of now, they remain norms and principles. We are now working earnestly, hopefully in a greater sense of urgency, to elevate these principles to become legally binding treaties. We are calling it the East Asia Summit Treaty for Friendship and Cooperation in the Indian and Pacific Oceans. So it's not only the Asia Pacific, but the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Geographically and geopolitically underscoring Indonesia's location as a country that actually bridges the two oceans. And of course, in recognition of the fact that relations that needs to be managed is not only in East Asia, but also in the Indian Oceans, especially with respect to India. This idea has gotten the endorsement of ASEAN, fortunately. We are now working with the rest of the East Asia Summit countries, and hopefully, with all being well, this can be one day taken up or endorsed by all the East Asia Summit countries.